Slob on me, not black corn on the car. Check in with me.
Me.
And do your job.
Your job. What's poppin', internet? Welcome to another episode of the Synced Up Podcast, the show where we talk to you about anime and farming games. I'm one of your hosts, Timothy Duro, and joining me this week is your boy, Michael Clare. How you doing, Michael Clare?
My feng shui is off.
Your feng shui is off? Why?
I was ready to let it rip.
With news, games, and sandwich a little fun in between. It's mostly news and games of very few genres.
And anime.
Yeah.
And
anime games, farming games, farming anime games.
Mm-hmm. Everything a man could ask for.
Today,
yes.
First and foremost, I would like to state I am sorry that this episode is going up a day late, but we wanted to be able to talk about the Nintendo Direct and the State of Play the day of to help us out in that SEO, especially with this clickbait title.
What's it going to be?
I don't know. I've been working it. Why Nintendo sucks now. Nintendo has fallen.
Jeff Grubb, you've screwed me for the last time.
Fuck Jeff Grubb.
It's a little too aggressive.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Today we're going to talk about the Nintendo Direct. We're going to talk about the State of Play. We're going to talk about the Ubisoft Forward. We're going to talk about the Pokemon trailer. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff.
Let's get to it.
And next week we'll get to talk about ID at Xbox because that's happening as well.
Pog.
Yep.
Gers.
But before that, JK housekeeping has moved to the middle of the show.
Mm-hmm.
We're switching it up now.
Let's
I thought it was a little
top
loaded, even though I spoke fast. I was like, you know what? If someone was just clicking this video for some clickbait, they'd get a quarter way through the housekeeping. They're like, I don't enjoy the show. This is the first time hearing the show. Why would I enjoy the show?
That's true.
So, but once they've got to the middle, then
yeah.
So
I'm with the program.
So now we're going to talk about the Nintendo Direct.
Let's do it.
I would like to discuss the Nintendo Direct before I go in to everything that's been announced at the Nintendo Direct. It's a big, long list.
What? Are you going to give some backstory?
I got some shit to say, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So, first and foremost, I would like to preface this conversation with, I understand that making video games is hard and difficult.
Uh-huh.
I understand that there's people that made these games and poured their heart into these games.
Yeah.
So most of what I'm going to say is mostly is 15% entertainment value and the rest real feelings. But I acknowledge that video games are difficult, and people pour their heart and soul. So apologies in advance.
No apologies.
Apologies in advance for me.
He's pissed.
This Nintendo Direct, it hurt me, bro.
It was bad in context. Let's explain the context.
No, I think it's bad in bad and bad in context.
They flubbed, but it's bad in context for sure. Bad in context because Jeff Grubb a week ago says, "Hey yo, this is about to be the Zelda Direct.
The Zelda Direct.
You're gonna get Wind Waker. You're gonna get Twilight Princess."
And of course, the thought process is we're a year later than the Zelda 35th anniversary.
It makes sense.
COVID delays. Makes sense.
Then Queen dies. We're
Queen
like,
dies.
oh no Direct.
Yep.
But then they're like, wait, that doesn't matter.
We're just not gonna stream in the UK.
Yeah, the UK is just gonna have to.
Yeah.
You get a VPN. I don't know.
Of course.
But here we are. No Wind Waker.
No.
No Twilight Princess.
No.
We did get a title and a date.
Yeah.
So you got something. But not what you were promised.
Personally, I got nothing. I felt
I agree. You got something, but in comparison to what you wanted, it feels like nothing.
I ate. Breath of the Wild 2 still feels like nothing. Because I already want to play that game. And they didn't tell me anything new, except for this game's coming later than I wanted it to.
I feel like if I would have paid more attention to the hieroglyphs on the wall, I would have been like, story, plot. But I don't care about the plot.
Yeah. Look, man. This is a Nintendo Direct, bro.
Let's get into it.
It's a wild one, okay? I come out the back end pissed off. Because, I took a lunch break and one of my 10-minute breaks, which actually turned into both of my 10-minute breaks. It was like 46 minutes long, right? So I'm hella behind on the mail. And, I still got to eat and do shit. So that's it's difficult, but I don't got any of my breaks now. And I'm incredibly disappointed on the back end. Some of it my fault, some of it not. And then I'm just my day is ruined. I had to claw back from depression almost. Like my day was.
There's a specific moment here where I got depressed, and I think let's just get there.
If you check, hold up. Let me go in here to the gaming chat in our Discord, which you can join by going to patreon.com/syncedup and giving $1, and you can join this Discord where we talk about stuff, right? So let me scroll up here. If you notice, there's a point where everyone else is gone, and I'm just in here alone, just constantly saying shit, posting memes, boom, boom. If I could click these to show the time that
it's
these were posted.
because you went to Twitter, and I started doing laundry. That's how depressed I was.
Yeah. I was very fucking upset. So let's go through the stuff.
Because it's good. It's good until we reach a certain point. No. It might not be good for you, but there's some good announcements until a certain somebody shows up on the screen.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We'll get there.
And then it takes a full 180.
Yeah.
So let's get there.
So we open this bad boy with Fire Emblem Engage.
Here's everything you missed.
Fire Emblem Engage. This drops on January 20th, 2023. It's showing some Marth, so some time travel stuff.
It's like 1,000 years in the future, something like that. But for some reason, we're still on horses and using bows and arrows. I'm cool with this. This game looks great.
I thought the cutscenes looked incredible.
I'm a forward video game player.
Yeah.
I'm not. If I enjoy a game in a series, I'm most likely not going to go back and play an older one.
See, what had happened was there was like a point somewhere in this direct, like 2/3 of the way through, where my emotions of not for me, happy someone's eating, just turned into pure disdain.
Dude, I know exactly where it happened.
So that wasn't the spot for me because there's a lot of time left on the clock.
It was so much whiplash, bro.
Yeah, no, I agree. So
but I'm excited for
Engage,
that.
It looks really cool.
You were like, oh, Mike's gonna enjoy that. I'm like, I'm gonna enjoy this. Of course, I'm gonna play it.
Yep. It Takes Two is also coming to Switch, which is really good because you can. I hope you can play that game with one Joy-Con. I don't think
they also said you could. I don't know.
Because I'm trying to think. You don't need both triggers.
I don't think you can play it with one Joy-Con.
No, because you need
you need to look. I think, but it is cool that you only need one copy to play on 2 Switches.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if somebody if you buy it on one Switch, both people can use a Switch.
Right. Gotta have a camera.
Yeah.
But It Takes Two is coming to Switch. Get excited for that. I'm excited for that. Fatal Frame: Mask of the Lunar Eclipse.
Cool.
The driving Fatal Frame game. I know Spencer was super hyped about that. Just a little horror game for you.
These are some good announcements.
Yeah. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is getting the expansion pass for Wave 2.
Cool.
So some like robot people. I don't know nothing about that. I gotta sneeze.
Hachu, bless you.
Oh shit! What? Fitness boxing, Fist of the North Star. That was a weird one.
That was weird.
You know,
but
some people were eating. I think.
I was like, that's cool, because I knew they had already done the fitness boxing before.
Yep.
So,
Oddballers. This looked like a little party game
mm-hmm.
where you're like playing dodgeball.
And this is like your normal
Gang Beast style thing.
These are normal headline things for Direct. So I'm like, this is all par for the course.
Yep. Tunic coming to Nintendo Switch. Expected. Excited.
Cool.
Front Mission 1 remake and Front Mission 2 remake. Not for me. Niche weird shit, but I know someone's out there.
Yeah, not for me.
Soaking that up. Story of Seasons: A Wonderful Life. You'll notice a trend here. You'll notice a trend here going forward. Story of Seasons: A Wonderful Life coming to Switch. Of course, knew that was happening.
Anime
Splatoon 3 got its first Splatfest announced.
What are you choosing?
I was
Fun.
Originally.
I'm Grub.
While I was still watching.
But maybe I'm not Grub no more.
No, I'm not Grub no more. I was Grub when I was watching.
I don't think I can
By
be
the
Grub.
end of the Splatfest, I was like, I'm fun.
It was Grub, fun, and what?
And Gear. Gear, Grub, and fun.
You bring the fun, I'll bring the gear.
I'm going with fun. Yeah,
no Grub invited. No
yeah. So Splatfest coming. The first Splatoon 3-way Splatfest, which is really really cool. Fae Farm announced.
Another farming game.
Yeah, who wonders? Theater Rhythm Final Bar Line. This is a Square Enix rhythm game. It's actually only like a Final Fantasy rhythm game.
It's an anime rhythm game, bro.
But then they just brought the entire Square Enix like library of rhythm of music in there. So little rhythm game for you. Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope.
That's a good game.
They showed a big expansive blowout of this actual new exploration like area mode type thing where through the game, you know, before if you play the original, did you play the original?
Yeah.
Yeah, in the original you kind of you do walk around in like an overworld, but it's like kind of like linear and there's like little side
there's some
kind of like a 3D world or 3D land overworld, you know. But this one's like a overworld where you're running around, you're talking to people, you're doing like side quests and shit.
More like Bowser's Fury.
I don't remember. I only played I only watched you play levels of that.
Bowser's Fury is like all open world, and then you walk into like, oh, there's an area here where I can do a bunch of like things and stuff.
Yeah, so you just like walk into an area and then it turns into a turn-based battle.
Okay.
But yeah, it looks really really cool. Super excited about that.
Cool.
Rune Factory 3 special and new Rune Factory announcement. That's a farming game. New games coming to Nintendo 64 Online. Pilot Wing 64, 3 Mario Party titles. Mario Party 1, 2, and 3. And then
you get Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2.
Pokemon Stadium, 1080 Snowboarding, Excite Bike 64.
These are some good games.
Yep.
And then the big one.
And then GoldenEye is coming to N64.
With online play.
With online exclusive to Switch.
Let's talk about it while we're here.
Sure.
Yeah. Why is the online feature exclusive to Switch?
Money.
But like, why?
Nintendo paid for it, bro.
But Rare, the licensing here is so weird because Rare is also like it's on Xbox.
The licensing is was for GoldenEye was always the point of contention of why people thought GoldenEye would never come to Switch, because of the licensing around 007. Licensing around 007 in general is very difficult because it's like a family that holds it, right? But then it's also weird because Rare created the game, Nintendo published the game in partnership with Nintendo. Then Rare was bought out by Microsoft, and so things got weird.
I just think this is a very interesting thing.
Yeah, so
and I'd like to see the paperwork,
it's
but
coming
I never will.
To Switch, and it's coming to Game Pass. On Game Pass, it's only local multiplayer. On Switch, it's online multiplayer, which hurts because I would download it on Game Pass and play with boys for one night.
We'll all have it on Switch
for one night. You know what I mean?
Bust it out. You're gonna have the OLED. You're gonna need a reason to use it. You're not gonna be playing Wind Waker.
Yeah, but voice chatting on Switch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, if I was
Can't
just
help
in an
that.
Xbox party.
Sorry, pal.
Yeah. So anyway, that's coming. Get excited. Complete tasks in various day life. This was just a game about living, bro. They in the marketing, they were like, complete over 100 plus different daily chores.
Yeah, no, it said life simulator, but then it was also like anime gun shooting stuff in the background. I'm like, I don't know what's happening here.
Factorio's coming to Switch. This feels a long time coming.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Horror title Ib comes to Switch. I thought this looked really cool. Had some weird shit going on, like, never mind. Won't spoil that game. But it had some weird shit going on. So that was... it looked pretty cool. It was intriguing. It had like a weird art style and stuff with some scribble stuff. I liked it. Scribble. Mario Strikers Battle League gets a couple of new characters for a free update. There's also a new field.
Yeah.
Pauline and Diddy Kong are coming to the game.
Cool.
Atelier Ryza 3, Alchemist of the End and the Secret Key.
This is the anime game.
Anime Breath of the Wild. This is what this one
I thought this one looked too good to be on Switch.
Yeah, who fucking knows, bro? Who fucking knows?
It's anime.
Anime Breath of the Wild with the weird ass name. Apparently, it's the third one. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Edition DLC Wave 3 was teased. I don't know why they didn't just announce which 4 it was. I don't know.
What do you mean? Which 4?
Yeah, they only announced 2. They said, here's 2.
Yeah, it's Peach's Castle.
It's Peach's Garden from DS and Merry Mountain
from Tour.
Yes.
The Tour maps are cool.
Yeah, they are. I like them. And Peach's Garden is a good map.
Yeah,
it's a good map. Like that map. Always like that map. Cool. Nintendo Switch Sports Golf update is delayed, which it was supposed to come out in July, and then we heard nothing. And then came out. It's delayed, but they decided they are adding a survival golf mode where everyone golfs at the same time.
Battle Royale golf. Can I say
looks cool
officially?
Go ahead.
Switch Sports is a big disappointment.
Yeah, I agree.
It's flopped. I thought there'd be more content to kind of want me to like go back and play, but no.
No, it's not
After we moved on, no desire to go back.
Yeah.
I'd rather play regular Switch Sport or
Wii Sports. Yeah, I think I agree. Mario movie, Pikmin Bloom, and Pikmin 4 news from Miyamoto. So this is the point in the direct where they decide. So what we're going to do here is we're going to cut to Miyamoto, right? Anyone who watches Nintendo Directs or is familiar with Nintendo knows that Miyamoto doesn't really have anything to do with anything anymore except the Mario movie being made by Universal Studios in partnership with Illumination Studios, the animation studio. So when they cut to Miyamoto, everyone was like, Mario movie. And he could have said something else to just be like, I'm just here to talk to you about this other thing. That would have been fine. But he spent a couple of minutes talking about the Mario movie and the Super Mario World Universal opening up in America and the one in Osaka, Japan.
Let me mention that I believe yesterday I told you the only thing I'm really interested in is a trailer for this movie.
Yeah,
that's what I want.
He spends about 3 to 4 minutes prefacing. As you know, we're working on the Mario movie. We're really excited to bring it to you. It's going to be coming out in spring. We're opening up Mario World Super Mario World at Universal Studios in America, and we're really, really excited.
It's at this point, I'm thinking Mario Odyssey too.
Yeah,
I'm like, dude, he's mentioning the stuff that we already know, but here's something you don't know. We've been working on Mario.
And that is like, Pikmin Bloom. He wanted to talk to you about Pikmin Bloom. He uses that moment to say, so anyway, and this is the way that the translator said it. It's like, anyway, I'm going to talk to you about Pikmin.
I was so pissed, like, bro. It cuts to some screenshots of Pikmin Bloom, a game that we already know is out and that we've pleasantly ignored, and it's walking.
And it's been said at Nintendo that Miyamoto has a weird obsession with Pikmin, and that's the only reason that's the only reason that game's being made. It doesn't sell incredibly well. It doesn't it's not like a top selling title, but Miyamoto just loves.
You know how you do this? You cut to the Pikmin Bloom thing. Don't even mention the movie. Don't even mention the theme park. Cut to Pikmin Bloom, then cut to Miyamoto wearing his Pikmin shirt.
Yeah.
And then we're like, Miyamoto's here because he wants to talk about Pikmin.
And then at the end of it, he's like, bam, I have got this new shirt.
The most generic Pikmin shirt you've seen in your life.
You can purchase it at Nintendo New York.
Yep.
And I was like, we use this moment to announce that Pikmin 4 is coming, which made sense, and
That was cool.
a shirt.
That was a good announcement. I'm like,
Sure.
yeah, nice.
But
Pikmin 4.
it was hard to enjoy.
When you just got whiplash.
When you're like,
Yeah, dude, I was thrown for a
I don't
loop.
know. I don't know why companies keep doing it. The Nintendo did the same exact thing with Breath of the Wild 2 back like September or 2 ago. Where
I'm here to tell you that Breath of the Wild 2 is in development, but we have nothing to say.
Yeah, it was during the 35th anniversary thing. He comes out and he's like, "Yeah, Breath of the Wild 2." Anyway, we're we don't got any updates for you, but here's Zelda Game & Watch. And it was like, why cut to him? You don't need him there to do that.
Yeah.
Because when you do that, you cause all of these issues. And so it doesn't make any fucking sense. Stop doing that. If you're going to cut to the guy, it's like when they cut to fucking the Gearbox guy. And he was like, we're going to talk about the Borderlands movie. But then
I'm back here, but I can't show you anything.
Exactly. Like, dude, stop.
But just know, I just talked to Kevin Hart.
Yeah, stop
and you're
doing
like, dude,
it. I'm
please.
begging you. I'm on my knees begging, please. God. Anyway, Just Dance showed up 2023, showing off some dance moves. Harvest Stella shows off more farming.
Farming, yeah.
Interesting. Bayonetta 3 gives some story context with some new characters, some returning characters.
Bayonetta 3 look cool.
It does look cool. A little bit Devil May
The
Cry 4.
Umbra Witch.
Danganronpa creators show off Master Detective Archive Rain Code. This is the one.
Persona Phoenix Wright.
Phoenix Wright, yes, of course. Looked okay.
Yeah, no, I think it's
And then Resident Evil Village Cloud Edition demo today, as well as other cloud releases in Resi 2, Resi 7, and Resi 3 Remake coming to Switch in cloud. And the third-person DLC for Resident Evil
is also
7?
coming. Yeah, no, Village.
For Resident Evil 8 is also coming to the Switch as
with
well.
more story.
Such weird that they did a third-person DLC, but that has nothing to do with the
I
direct.
don't know. People want it, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, people like that third person. And then there was a big sizzle reel of action games coming to Nintendo Switch. There was like the Lego game that looked pretty cool. Mm-hmm. There was a new announcement for Fall Guys Season 2, set in space.
Yeah, game actually looks like completely different.
There was like a lot of stuff going on there. And then they announced a Crisis Core release date for December 13th. It's weird that the release date for Crisis Core, a PlayStation game, was announced during a Nintendo Direct. I found that
didn't
odd.
even probably cross my mind.
That's so weird because the last we heard of it was during a State of Play, and they said it'll be coming holiday or winter.
Oh,
right?
okay.
And so then the release date got confirmed here, which was weird, especially with the State of Play happening the same day, and also in that State of Play, which we'll talk about later, having no Final Fantasy stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that's weird.
A
little odd. Then they hit you with the like, oh, okay, this is probably the big final announcement. Then it's Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe releasing for Switch. And it's at this point I realized the clock is too low, that there's no possible way for me to obtain what I want. And then when they were like, we got one more thing for you, and then it cut, and then I seen what it was panning over, I was like, those graphics look too good.
Yeah, that's Breath of the Wild.
Yes, and then so that was Breath of the Wild 2, new footage shown and title revealed as Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom or Tears of the Kingdom. It has not been confirmed. Most people seem to think it's Tears.
Yeah, I think it's Tears.
I can see it being either way. I don't know.
I think that's the point, but I think it is Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, because they're like ripping the space-time continuum, and that's probably why they didn't want to air it in the UK, because Tears of the Kingdom, well, it's
pretty topical.
Queen just died, and it got a release date of May 12th, 2017. And then that was the end.
2017. That's kind of crazy.
Sorry, I don't know. Why did I say 2017? Because that's when the original one came out.
Yeah, it's been 6 years.
Yeah, so it by the time Breath of the Wild 2 has come out, it will have been over 6 years since Breath of the Wild 1.
For a game that looks exactly the same.
Exactly the same. So I will get into that in a second. But
so yeah, I think this is too big of a direct. And there's a lot. There's some good stuff here.
When you preface this, bitch. Okay, look, sure. Jeff Grubb, notwithstanding me being hype about things that don't exist, which he still seems to think that they exist.
Cool.
But fuck, I can't believe him anymore. I can't let my hopes be crushed.
But you got a lot of like Nintendo things.
Yeah.
You got a new Fire Emblem game, a new Kirby game. You got your Breath of the Wild name and date.
But
you got Pikmin.
But when you tell me this thing is 40 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Like, I felt like the way you do a good game showcase is there's something there for everyone every 4 games. You know what I mean? Where you're like, cool. And there was a chunk here pretty much after Miyamoto came and did the massive blunder where I sat there for 20 minutes and there was just nothing after nothing after nothing after nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And even in the beginning, mostly nothing for me. And sure, personal problem or whatever you want to say. Like, Nothing. Tunic I've already played. Oddballers look cool, but that's a little indie game that you're going to play a couple of times with your buddies. I don't play Splatoon. I'm not farming. I don't know what fuck Front Mission is. I'm not playing any of these rhythm games or farming or Octopath
DLC
2.
for a bunch of games you don't care about playing anymore.
Exactly. A bunch of niche games. Like, that's what this whole thing felt like. Just niche games that only a couple of people are going to care about. Farming games and anime games. And then DLCs for games I don't give a shit about. And it was just extremely disappointing.
I think what hurts Nintendo Directs, and I've said this before, is that Pokemon is no longer in Nintendo Directs at all in any shape or form.
Yeah.
You get nothing Pokemon related, which Pokemon is an easy, everybody gets excited for.
Yeah, I agree.
You announce a new Pokemon, and someone's like, oh, that's really cool, whether they care or not.
Yeah. I think the main issue, which, can't be fixed, was Satoru Iwata died. Satoru Iwata, known for, we got the Wii because of Satoru Iwata. He was all about fun. He was all about what the people want. And modern day Nintendo is they're not really that anymore. With Satoru Iwata being gone out of the picture since he's died, it's not really been the shit at Nintendo. So that kind of sucks. So there's nothing really you can do there to fix that problem. But there's just, I don't know. Every Nintendo Direct nowadays, since 2017 when you got the gift from the gods Direct,
Another thing, Ultimate as well. I think there's many things that play
there's
here.
no Smash or anything. Yeah,
Smash
Nintendo,
used to carry us as well.
They don't have anything, in my opinion. Like you were saying, Fire Emblem, Kirby, a Splatoon. Like, if we're being honest, and take this how you will, that's not
Nintendo IPs.
Yes, you're not. About. There's no Mario. Besides Sparks of Hope,
there's no Mario,
which means
Zelda,
which means there's no Mario. Sparks of Hope. There's still no Mario. There's no Zelda. There's no Metroid, and those you're talking about your biggest three hitters, pretty much. No Donkey Kong, anything like that, which would probably be like your second string guys. Like, you got nothing. And you had Kirby, but it's just a remake of an old game.
And you've taken your biggest IP, removed it from the Direct, and then give it its own Direct.
Yeah.
So even just thinking about the Smash roster, right? Because that's your most iconic characters.
Yeah.
You're right. It's Mario, Zelda, DK, Metroid, and Pokemon.
Yeah.
Pokemon's off to the side. If you're not announcing a Mario, Zelda, or Metroid game,
and we have
every event,
we're coming up.
It's not gonna be that cool.
We're 5+ years since the last 3D Mario title. We are gonna be 6+ years since the last mainline Zelda game. That wasn't something weird like Skyward Sword HD or Link's Awakening. I would have expected something else in there. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. And yeah, the thing that you were saying, I don't fucking understand whatsoever how you have to show me more. I have to get Breath of the Wild in my hands for me to understand. I hope I play it and then I get it, because at current state, from what I've seen, and sure, we've seen very little, it should not have taken 6 years to make Breath of the Wild. And look, I know video games are difficult and I know that it's hard. Those are the same fucking models.
Well, and if it's taking 6 years, show me what that 6 years is going into. Because all you've shown me that's new is what, like 2 new abilities?
Yeah, you had this time ability. Well, the same time ability, but slightly different. This weird glider thing, some green shit, and then
the sky
stuff. But in reality, there's nothing like new.
Is the combat the same? Is the enemies the same?
Yeah, there was hints in the little pan over of a guy and 7 little things, which typically in Zelda games there are 7 dungeons. So maybe dungeons are coming back. Show me it. But if you don't give me something to convince me why it took this fucking long to make this game, because when you look, let's look at the distance between Ocarina of Time and fucking
Majora.
Ocarina of Time, and I know it was a different era, and games take longer to make now than they did then. But even still, so Ocarina of Time came out in 1998, November 21st. And then Majora's Mask came out. Is that 1 year? That's
Is it the Japanese release?
That's a year and a half later. A year and a half between Ocarina of Time and
And
Majora's
those are
Mask.
very
Why?
different games.
Because they reused all the same assets and they just made a different game. And this is, they're not, you built the engine, you've built, it's its own proprietary game engine. You're using all of the same models and stuff and skybox and little shit like that, so you don't have to do that. You didn't fire a good chunk of your team. It's the same fucking team. I don't understand how it has taken 6 years. And Like that's just nuts. 6 years, and there's people like online that are like, man, it's been like 5+ years. This is the longest gap between mainline Zelda games, and then of course you have people in other franchises. It's like it's been 13 years since my last game or whatever.
Yeah.
But that conversation notwithstanding, it still doesn't make sense. There hasn't been anything in the interim to like be badass. Really, you had Link's Awakening, which was okay, which was really cool, but that's made by a different team.
I feel like Nintendo has to have some extremely weird policy of approval and like. Because as a game dev, right, you want to get your game out there.
Yeah.
So you can start working on your next project.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like you don't want to develop a game for 6 years. You want to develop a game for 2 years,
and people,
have it be good,
yeah,
and move on.
People are convinced that Nintendo makes shit and sits on it, which honestly, I think that they do.
Because we know that's true with Pokemon.
But I don't know why you would sit on Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah.
Like...
Maybe because... I mean, do you have no creative direction on what to do after Breath of the Wild 2? Yeah. Is that why?
I don't know. You got to take COVID into account.
Sure.
But even with COVID into account, you're talking, 3.5 to 4 years of dev time, before COVID.
Because Nintendo does it different than every other company, and for multiple reasons as well. Because everything they do is not just the game. You're talking these are huge franchises where merchandising becomes very important. Everything related to the character probably has to be approved by Nintendo,
Yeah.
And that's like the big thing with Pokemon is like that's why they sit on it. Is because for 5 years you need to plan out the card game, you need to plan out the video game, you need to plan out all the merchandise. Zelda's not that big. It shouldn't require that same time limit.
It just has to be. Really, the only answer is COVID. COVID hit Japan harder than most places. Well, Japanese law around COVID hit.
I wonder if it just is creative direction.
It could be.
Because why did it take this long to give us the name of the game?
Yeah, because
if you're sitting on the game for 6 years, you know the title.
The conversation was that the name of the game would reveal shit about.
It doesn't.
Would spoil. And even in the breakdown videos, there's nothing.
There's nothing.
It doesn't do anything. So I don't know why we waited so long. And also, these trailers, man, they're like nothing. They're like a minute and a half of like some quick stuff. Like give me like where if the game, especially the game's coming out in May, I guess that is kind of far away, but even still, like where's like the breakdown vid, like the 6 minutes where someone's like in Breath of the Wild,
you will be able to your weapons now have double durability, and you can recharge this durability by going to this shrine.
It's like when you've seen Breath of the Wild 1, they did that where it's like you're going to be able to go open world and you're going to have this glider and you're going to be able to jump off your horse and zoom in slow-mo, and we've gotten none of that so far.
Maybe they have nothing, dude.
And I don't know, because it feels like, honestly, I'm going to be completely honest, and we were talking about it in the Discord today, which you can join by going to patreon.com/syncedup and giving us $1, that if we're being honest, and I know it probably doesn't apply to you because you play the machine much more than anyone else, but in terms of the almost 6 years we've had the Switch now, the Switch has kind of been mid in terms of content on the console that I want to play on the console, that's trying to drag me to the console. You have third-party games like indie games that you might prefer to play on the Switch because you can play it handheld, but there's nothing like in the 6 years that we've had the console, almost there hasn't been much that's like you gotta come get a Switch. Not
in 2022.
There's
not like you have to buy a Switch. Like when we got the Switch, right? It was like you gotta play Odyssey, you gotta play Breath of the Wild, you gotta play whatever else.
That is my point.
But even that, those two,
those are banger titles.
I wanted to play simply because of Odyssey.
Years ago, almost.
And that's all it took was Odyssey. We don't have an Odyssey no more.
No, there's not.
Everybody's played Odyssey. Everybody sold their Switch.
Like I was sitting here thinking about it. What have I played on there since, like, Breath of the Wild?
It's a Pokemon machine for me.
And I played fucking Arceus. I played Metroid Dread. I played Mario Party for a couple of days. I played Switch Sports for a couple of days.
They're extremely carried by the IPs.
Animal Crossing.
There's no denying it.
Yeah,
it's the IPs for sure. Because for Kylie, it's an Animal Crossing machine. For me, it's a Pokemon machine. Yeah. For you, it's pretty much just a Zelda machine and party games.
Well, I loved Odyssey, bro.
Well, yeah, but like it's been 5 years.
Yeah. So since Animal Crossing, like it's been like nothing. Yeah. And Animal Crossing got the assist by the state of the world, if we're being completely honest.
I get lucky because I like JRPGs. Yeah. So occasionally I'm like, that's one I want to try. It's on Switch. I'm going to play it there. But like about TemTem, right? I'll talk about that later. I bought it on the Xbox because I want to play with my friends. I'm not gonna buy it on the Switch. Why would I buy it on the Switch? It makes no sense.
It feels mid. So I don't know. I don't really have much else to say about the Nintendo Direct. I'm upset that it's taken so long for Breath of the Wild. I recognize that COVID has caused problems. I think COVID's fucked Nintendo hard and fucked everyone hard, really. But this just really sucks. And I didn't really. The September Direct, the big Direct, 40+ minutes. I was like, this is fat, juicy. Let's go. Not really, in my opinion. There wasn't a lot here. 3D Mario, 2D Mario, fucking Zelda, another Link's Awakening type.
And you know, nobody's at Nintendo saying, hey guys, this is the 5th anime farming game we've slid into the Direct.
Yeah, like,
maybe not. Maybe we slim it down to 35 minutes and cut some.
Yeah, and that's all the memes right now is the farming shit. But like legitimately,
that's
like,
all it is.
Cultivate your crops in this amazing new RPG. Plant plants in this exciting new RPG. Inherit a farm from your grandpa. And
see how the seasons affect your crops in this game.
Yes, like constantly over and over. And I was like, how the fuck are we still talking about farming, dude? I'm so done.
I feel like maybe it's gotta. I don't know.
There's no excuse.
I'm tired of theorizing for Nintendo.
Yeah,
they just need to come out and be like.
The other thing, we're already 30 minutes in the show. The other thing,
PlayStation.
I would like before we go into PlayStation. I'd like to discuss while we're still on the topic of Nintendo. We were talking about it with Spencer again in the Discord that you can join, patreon.com/syncduppod. The Switch. We're coming up on 6 years of the Switch soon.
Yeah.
There's no indication of a Switch Pro
or Switch 2
or Switch 2 or anything. Are they holding stuff for the next console?
No.
In traditional, like Nintendo fashion, like what they usually do, it's about time to sunset the Switch for the way that Nintendo works. And the reason I feel like the reason you and even me almost is so quick to deject it is because as much as I say the Switch is mid, whatever, it's still great. You know,
because it's the only it's in a category of its own, and there's no competition. The Steam Deck is out.
Yeah,
it didn't beat the Switch.
No,
they're very different markets. Yeah. The person who wants a Steam Deck, probably still wants a Switch.
Yeah,
it's not competing.
Exactly. But even as much as I'm shitting on it now, and I'm talking about how it's mid, and there's nothing that's dragging me there, I'm still glad to own a Switch and happy that everyone owns a Switch or multiple Switches. And that's one of the things about the Switch is like a fuck ton of people have the damn thing.
Yeah.
And a bunch more people are gonna have the damn thing. But like. It's probably about that time to like will like it feels weird to try to have to theorize what the fuck Nintendo's gonna do next because you can't.
You can't. With Xbox, it's so easy. Yeah, you're like, we're gonna get a better Xbox.
Yeah,
and that's just it. You're gonna be right.
Yeah. But you can't theorize what Nintendo has. But if we're being honest, I was really thinking about it today. I legitimately would bet my arm and leg that a Switch Pro will not happen. I don't think that'll happen. I don't even think ever.
I don't know.
I don't think they'll make a Switch Pro ever.
They will not leave the handheld market. I will tell you that right now.
Well, they'll probably keep putting stuff out on the Switch just like they did with the DS.
And then create a console?
Just like they did with the DS.
Like a Wii U console?
I don't know what they do, but
a console where you can use your Switch as the Wii U pad?
Jesus.
That's what it's going to be.
Dude, fuck off. But I don't think a Switch Pro will ever come because I don't think Nintendo's about they don't give a shit about that type of thing. And if I'm being honest, I don't think there's too much of a market.
I think the OLED is what we got.
Yeah, and
that's it.
I agree.
You got a little better battery life. You got a better screen.
Yeah, I agree.
It's yeah.
I concur. Well, I got one.
You know how they figured out how to sell the OLED was to slap Pokemon on it, and I'm like, well, I want it now.
I want it now, man. But so the OLED I think is the extent of what that is happening, and I think maybe by this time next year we're hearing about
some
the
new
next
product.
thing, and maybe that's why we're not getting any things. But also, so many people own the fucking Switch.
Yeah, you should release games and keep making money.
Putting everything on the Switch
and keep making money, and then fund better projects.
Yeah,
and I'm personally okay with using a Switch for 6 more years because I think it's a great device. I'm perfectly content with the dock and the handheld. I'm not like, man, this could be better, but I don't care because it's good enough. I just want games.
Yeah, I agree.
I got Pokemon, so I'm lucky. I get a game every year.
Yeah.
Not everybody likes Pokemon. If you don't like Pokemon,
Yeah.
You're screwed, man.
You're chilling. You're splatting with the boys.
Yeah, you better be in a Splatoon or Kirby.
Arms happened.
Better hope you like Animal Crossing. That's it, bro.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it for the Nintendo Direct that happened. There was a State of Play also that happened from
that was
PlayStation.
almost as long as the Direct.
I know. It's
Could
crazy.
have just watched the Direct.
I know. I know. So listen to us talk about the damn thing. State of Play happened as well today.
Yeah.
And we went and I
you
watched.
I was working.
So they opened that bad boy with Tekken 8. Looks fucking pretty good, honestly.
I did. I saw a lot of screenshots. I was like, oh, this is a movie.
I'm not gonna play it, but it looks pretty good. Then they went to 2 PSVR titles: Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge Enhanced Edition, and then Demio, which is like some D&D VR game where it's like there's like tabletop stuff going on. It looked pretty cool.
Cool.
So I thought that was cool. Like a Dragon Ishin, which is a remake of an old Yakuza spinoff that was only in Japan.
That's being rebranded.
Yeah, as now Like a Dragon's kind of becoming its own franchise.
Is there a trailer for this?
Yeah.
I'll probably watch it later.
Yeah. Hogwarts Legacy got shown off some more stuff, some like mannequin stuff, some spooky vibes.
Mannequin?
Yeah, there's like animated mannequins.
Oh, okay.
Amica cream. Pacific Drive was announced. It was a really cool looking indie game with like weird vibes, like some Pacific Northwest stuff where they're like driving in a car
Seattle
with all these like this equipment in it, and it's kind of like post-apocalyptic, and like people come on the radio and they're like, oh, there's a weird thing coming, and there's like a storm and like monsters. I don't know. Looked pretty cool, like a little indie game. It seemed like up my alley, like one of those weird ones where I play. It's like 2.5 hours long. I'm like, everybody should play this. So I'm into that. PlayStation Stars. That's that new program that PlayStation has about.
Is it the NFT one?
Yeah. Where you can earn rewards for playing games, and then you can earn digital memorabilia.
Sophisticated trophies.
Yeah, you can get NFTs. It's just PlayStation trophies plus, I guess. Synduality was like just a mech game.
Okay.
Stellar Blade looked like a more intense Nier type of game. Looked okay. Looked pretty good. Rise of the Ronin. This felt weird. This is from Team Ninja and Koei Tecmo.
Okay.
This is a.
Is it a Warriors type beat?
It's like an action, like RPG that looks exactly like fucking Ghost of Tsushima. But it's not Sucker Punch and it's not Ghost of Tsushima. So
but is it Dynasty Warriors type?
No, it's like Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh.
Like the same. Like you're jumping and climbing and you're slicing. Like it looks the same. So now there's 2 Ghost of like feudal Japan samurai games being exclusive to the PlayStation.
Interesting.
It's fucking
They're
weird.
really locking down on that audience.
I guess so. 2024 is when that comes out. And then they closed it out with an announcement of a God of War Ragnarok controller that is coming that you can buy, and a new trailer for God of War Ragnarok showing off Thor, multiple different worlds, and the Norse God of War as well. Some battles with Freya. Looked pretty fucking awesome. I'm not gonna lie.
Just throwing hands with Thor.
Very
at the end.
fucking excited, and that comes out soon, November 11th. So,
yeah, it looks good. That was a pretty concise.
That's see, if you're gonna have like, I don't give a fuck about half this shit, but you only took like 11 minutes of my time. You know what I mean?
And you gave me one thing I wanted at least.
Yeah, a God of War trailer did it for me, and Pacific Drive, a little indie game, I'll take.
It was a quality over quantity type thing here.
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah, like if you had put 8 farming games in here, I would have been more pissed.
Yeah,
But you didn't.
I assume that's how Xbox will be too.
Yeah.
When we see that, it'll be a lot of, here's 8 games you care about, here's 30 games you don't care about coming to Game Pass.
Well, ID at Xbox typically is more indie stuff, so.
Oh.
Because that's their.
Oh, it's ID.
That's their publisher thing. Or whatever. And that's tomorrow.
Oh. Well, there should be some cool stuff still.
Yeah, we'll talk about that next week. Ubisoft Forward also had an event, and then within that event, they had the event within the event, Inception style, the Assassin's Creed event showcase, I think is what they called it.
That's all I care about.
They opened that bad boy with Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope, showing off more of that. Showed off more Skull and Bones, which look kind of cool. If it comes to Game Pass, I'll play it. I will not purchase this game. Riders Republic got a season 4. Some cool
shout out Fielding.
Fielding, really, really excited about that. Tom Clancy's The Division 2 got some Season 10 stuff. They're still supporting Division 2. Tom Clancy's The Division Heartland was shown off. We finally got to hear about this. Originally, we thought it was a DLC for The Division. Turns out it's a free-to-play standalone title that they showed off, and I'll try it. I will try it because I like The Division gameplay. So I'm into trying some free-to-play stuff. And then The Division Resurgence, a Division mobile title, is also coming. Rainbow Six is also coming to mobile, and Rainbow Six Mobile.
Dude, that's going to be so bad.
I don't understand how that could be good.
That game is defined off of how
I agree.
precise You have to be in that game.
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do there. Then they showed off Trackmania, which honestly, after watching this, I kind of want to go like play the last Trackmania game. I don't know how I missed this. This franchise looks dope.
You've never seen Trackmania?
No.
You're never like watching a TikTok of like someone telling a story while Trackmania is happening in the background?
I know.
Where they do like the super convoluted races and stuff.
That's Trackmania. I thought that was GTA 5.
No. That's Trackmania.
But this looked really fucking good, dope. It looked like F-Zero. They were like on Hot Wheels tracks.
Yeah, it's
they were,
like crazy.
Little People, Big World. And then they talked
You
about
go
how
real fast.
they talked about how they found a way to get all of the created maps from all of the Trackmania games previously, all of them, into the new Trackmania.
And just up-res.
To have it where automatically when you get Trackmania, you have thousands upon thousands of community tracks to play. And I was like, that's good.
That's cool.
That's good. And I've never played Trackmania. I've never been into Trackmania, but I can acknowledge that I was like, I don't know how y'all did that, but that's a good thing that you could do that, because then you get the community like kicked off and ready to go, and you're playing a cool Trackmania game. So I want to play this, and I'm excited for this. Just Dance 2023 got shown off. Then of course we went into the Assassin's Creed showcase. We showed off Assassin's Creed Mirage. You're playing as Basim in the city of Baghdad, kind of back in the day. More linear, shorter game, not open world crazy RPG stuff, more focused.
Return to roots.
Yeah, return to roots, as they say. Assassin's Creed Valhalla is getting the last chapter DLC to close out Ivor's story. Assassin's Creed codename Jade was announced. This is a mobile Assassin's Creed game. Don't know how that's going to be
set in where?
This one was set in I don't know, look like fucking Rome or something. I could not tell you, brother. I've seen so much news this week.
They're not China?
No, that's coming up. Assassin's Creed Netflix series.
Okay.
They talked a little bit more about that. No real new news, but a little bit more about that. They did say that there was an Assassin's Creed Netflix game coming. Don't know what that is. They didn't say, but that's coming. Assassin's Creed codenamed Red. This is the feudal Japan one. This one is more big, crazy Valhalla style.
Sweet.
In Japan. Assassin's Creed codenamed Hexy. I wrote a note here, some witch shit. That's pretty much all we know. There was like some Assassin's Creed stuff hanging, like some Assassin's Creed logos, and they were like, it was a lot of witch symbolism and stuff. So some weird horror game maybe. I don't know. Nobody knows. And then they talked more about Assassin's Creed Infinity, the game that we thought was going to be a games as a service big platform game, to just, like Halo Infinite, constantly update Assassin's Creed in the future and not drop titles. That's not the case. Assassin's Creed Infinite is apparently some sort of platform hub for all their Assassin's Creed games. If I had to guess, not a lot of people know this, but if you play a Battlefield game, they're all connected together. If you scroll left when you're playing a Battlefield game, you get a drop-down menu, and then there's Battlefield 2042, Battlefield Hardline, Battlefield 1, Battlefield 5, Battlefield 4, and they're all in like a little hub. And if you have them downloaded, you could just click and it'll switch you over to one. And then you can like check your stats and change your loadouts and stuff. If I had to guess, it's probably something like that then.
That would make sense.
If this is just some sort of hub to get into all the Assassin's Creed games.
Yeah.
Maybe, maybe like a Master Chief Collection type of thing.
And I could also see it being more like a map of like, here's how these are connected in some way.
Yeah, to help
you out. Enjoyed this, like this game's next, and these characters.
Because even
Assassin's Creed is big now.
Yeah.
And it's convoluted.
Even Halo Master Chief Collection has like some stuff like that where you can go into like you can click some links and there's things in there. And it's probably like a Master Chief Collection, but I doubt they put the games in there for free. They probably there's probably a hub, and they're like, oh, you want to get access to Assassin's Creed 1?
Yeah,
$5.99 or something like that. You know what I mean? So I don't know. And that's it for the Ubisoft Forward as a whole.
It's a pretty good event.
Yeah,
the Assassin's Creed news is good. What do you mean? We'll get into the China stuff later. I think Jade was China.
Was it?
It makes sense, right?
I guess it's called Jade.
It is called Jade.
The China and Japan was like, to me that was the same. That's why I said later. Maybe it was China. I just know it was mobile, and I thought it wasn't like it looked like Rome or something. Maybe I'm geeked. I've seen a lot these past few days.
Yeah,
so
a lot
could
of
be incorrect.
Well, you did it.
Yeah.
There's all the directs from the week.
That's all the directs from the week. There was a Pokemon trailer that dropped this week, a new one for Scarlet and Violet.
You got 3 new Pokemon.
I put Just Ask Mike as one of my notes here.
There's Cloth, the rock crab. Yeah, just a rock type.
I like that, yeah.
There's
I think I might put him on my team.
The crab?
I like him.
He's too lame for me.
No, I like him.
He's sus.
He looks cool.
Then there's Armarouge.
Yeah.
Who's a little fire psychic guy who has these are like Mega Man characters I'm describing here.
Yep.
Yellow and red Mega Man character.
Yeah.
And then there's
Can't remember the other one. But he's
Suledge.
Yeah, something like that.
Ceruledge.
He's like the
Ceruledge.
same. Yeah, he's the same thing, but with swords.
Yeah, and he's ghost type.
Yeah,
and
he's in Violet and the Eleventh Scar.
Yeah, and they announced some moves from him, real cool.
Yeah,
and then they kind of
graphite.
the most interesting thing from this trailer was that crab was really big.
Like
you fight a big crab.
Yeah.
Akin to either alphas from Arceus or in Sun and Moon, you fought totem Pokemon, which were bigger version.
They did show that you can auto battle and auto collect items with your Pokemon in the wild
while you're in the open world, which is cool.
Yeah,
Do we need those kind of features?
One of the greatest quality of life things.
We need features that speed up the grinding stuff.
Yep.
So that's great.
It was off Team Star. Villains.
Yeah, you got an idea of what the villain line is gonna look like.
Seen more of the treasure hunt. Seen more of something called Path of Legends. I don't know what it was, but I was just skimming the article.
Path of Legends. That I think
You're
that's
helping like an upperclassman with something.
Yeah, that's when you fight Cloth, because you're trying to get Cloth's like whatever he's protecting.
Yeah,
and you got to fight a bunch of Titan Pokemon is what they're called.
Yeah. Then they showed off some gym tests, little side quests you got to do before you can fight gym leaders.
Yeah, that's we had something similar in Sword and Shield where you, instead of like fighting a bunch of trainers, you still might fight trainers, but you do like some thing, like where you have to catch 3 fire Pokemon before you can fight the fire gym leader and stuff like that. So still hype, still cool.
I agree.
66 days.
And that's all for the news. Cyberpunk getting a DLC as well.
Boo.
Phil Spencer said some stuff, but it's fucking too late for that news. And that's it. And we'll talk about ID at Xbox next week. That's happening tomorrow. Anyway, before we get into This Week in Gaming, a little bit of housekeeping for you. If you enjoy this show so far or have in the past, you should consider supporting us on Patreon at patreon.com/syncedup, where you can get access to our lovely Discord for $1.
Quite lovely. It is quite lovely.
Or for $5, you can get access to the post shows of both the shows that we do, and many more goodies, all from youtube.com/synceduppodcast and podcasting services around the globe. New episodes of this show specifically go up in all those feeds, usually Tuesdays, 7 a.m. Central Time Zone gang. This time it will be Wednesday, but that's okay. And you should also consider following us on Twitter at synceduppod to keep up to date with all of our content.
True.
Speaking of that content, I should have said it at the beginning of the show. We just ranked Kiki's delivery service on the Synced Up Filmcast. So if you were interested in that, you should jump over to that in the Synced Up Filmcast feed or here on youtube.com/syncedupodcast. We will be ranking only yesterday next week over there on the Filmcast. Now it's time for This Week in Gaming.
Let's get into it.
Going into it, as they say. Let's get into it, yeah.
September
12th. Shadow of the Tomb Raider in 2018.
Okay.
September 13th. Shadow Jordan. Mortal Kombat 1993.
OG.
Borderlands 3 in 2019.
I never played it. Dude.
3 years is
I
that?
missed it.
Yeah, me and Chance played the fuck out of that. September 14th. Now, this is a fat day right here.
14th?
Fable in 2004.
Okay.
Not November. Did I say November? I just said November, didn't I? September 14th.
Yeah, I thought you said September.
Fable 2004. Sly 2 2004. Sims 2 2004. The Original Skate in 2007.
Okay.
Rock Band 2 in 2008.
Sheesh.
Halo Reach in 2010.
Dang.
Faster Than Light in 2012.
Oh my
and
God.
Deathloop in 2021.
That's a banging day.
That's a pretty good day.
So what day was that?
That was September 14th.
What are we getting today? We got nothing. Oh
Yeah.
no, wait. Any games releasing today?
I don't think. I can't remember.
Tragic.
I got PTSD. September 15th, Marvel's Ultimate Alliance 1 came out in 2009. Scribblenauts in 2009.
Also good.
Undertale in 2015.
Oh my God.
And then the DS Metroid Samus Returns in 2017. September 16th, you got Homeworld 2 in 2003. Don't forget that
Homeworld 3, baby.
sequel's coming
It's
up.
Excited.
Simpsons Hit and Run in 2003. And Force Unleashed in 2008. September 17th, you got GTA 5 in 2013.
Okay.
September 18th, you got Borderlands 2 in 2012 and Mario 3D All-Stars 2 years ago in 2020.
It's been 2 years since $3
That
Stars.
feels nuts.
That's long.
Yeah, it's a long
What
time.
a game, though.
Yeah.
Imagine if Zelda could.
Go fuck yourself.
Could not.
Go fuck yourself, Mike. I won't stand for this. I shan't stand for
I'll
this.
be eating, you be starving.
Yeah. Anyway.
What you
That's
been playing?
the stuff you've been playing.
You want me first? You first?
You go first. I've been talking a lot.
You
I know
first?
you 100% of TinyKin.
I did 100% TinyKin. That was a very fun game. I was prepared to spend about 2 hours searching for the last
Pollen?
stuff.
For Pollen?
Yeah. But I booted up a 100% Pollen video.
They have these are the ones that are usually missed.
No.
They didn't? You just
I
got lucky?
checked all those areas.
Oh, you got lucky?
And I was like, oh no. And then like he starts yelling, and maybe 10 minutes in, I find out what I missed. I'm like, thank God.
What was it?
It was just behind like a bookcase or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's the obvious spot.
Yeah, somewhere I definitely should have checked. I don't know how I missed it. It's just like you're like gas that whole game.
Yeah, and you think that shit has to be in some weird ass nook and cranny.
Yeah.
So you're like, what is in this?
But then
That's a good game.
the hardest achievement in the game is making sure you get all the TinyKin.
Yeah.
Because there's no indicator for if you have the right amount.
Yeah.
So I didn't get
no
it.
video for that?
Huh? There is.
There is?
But most people only have like every TinyKin in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like 2 hours. And I'm like, man,
Yeah.
I don't want to do this. So while I was doing the pollen, because I looked for the TinyKin first, because I was like, maybe there's just a video of like TinyKin you missed in this area.
Yeah.
Wasn't. So I was like, oh man, all right, let me do the pollen.
Just like a 1 of egg.
And while I did the pollen, I saw one egg that I missed. That
Yeah.
was like on a lamp. I was like, oh, thank God. And I hit it. Achievement. Well, no, achievement didn't pop yet. And I was like,
yeah.
I think I'm done in this area because I got the pollen. And then I went to the end of the game,
Uh-huh.
and there's 4 in that very last area.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it popped.
Okay.
Like,
Oh, so you hadn't went to finish the game yet?
No.
Okay, so you were doing the other stuff first.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, there's 4 left.
Because I went I did it as I go. Because if I don't do it as I go, I'm not gonna finish the game and go back.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I got all the achievements
Yep.
within like 10 minutes after that because they're easy.
Yeah. How about the game?
I thought the game was great.
It's a good fucking game.
It is really good, and that's why I was excited when Pikmin 4 got announced because like I enjoyed that.
Yo, TinyKin was fucking awesome, bro.
Yeah, it's
I
a great
that.
game.
Also, that ending is fucking wild.
It is a very good ending.
Like I got to the ending and I was like, what?
Did you get to the hidden room
In
in the last stage?
Oh yeah, where you go back and you see them like spying on you and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. In the
I
back
was
of
like,
the
oh my
gambling
God,
place.
this is
That's when things are getting sus. And then you talk to that guy and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm just a dude and I froze this in time in 1972." And I was like,
You're like, okay, this
"Fuck."
is crazy, but makes sense. Sure.
Yeah, it was good. I liked it.
It sets itself up for a little sequel too.
That is a fully realized world. I feel like
Yeah, it
felt lived in.
every space was used.
Yeah, it was
there was
great.
like nowhere where like,
It's a fucking
man,
little-
if I get up on that shelf, there's not gonna be anything
No,
there.
something
No, there's
everywhere.
always
down
something.
there pushing the little pedals of the piano to get some fucking
And you're like,
pollen.
and you're getting like 1,600 pollen,
Yeah.
and you're like, that's a lot of collectibles.
But then you're just getting that shit.
you're constantly.
And also, there's like so many different collectibles between like the mail, the TinyKin, the pollen. But it doesn't feel like normal collectathon games where you're like, it all feels fun to collect.
Because what you're doing is instead of like
You're
trying to hunt around for collectibles, you're just
exploring.
you're going through the level and usually like some
like-
linear path you made in your head
Yeah.
and just finding everything as you
Yeah. So for me, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna take care of the bathtub,
go. Uh-huh.
and then I'm gonna go over here to the fridge, or you know, what
Yeah.
I mean, those
No,
are different
exactly.
rooms, but you get what I'm saying. Where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take care of these 3 cabinets, and then I'm gonna go over here to the fridge and this cabinet, and then I'm gonna go over here to this, and like just take care of little chunks at a time, and then kind of use my binoculars to look for a different area. I'm like, oh, I see a bunch of pollen over there. I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna take care of that. That dude, that game.
It's
was so
very
good.
fun.
I liked it. It felt good to collect everything because it also felt like exploratory, and there like every little thing felt like, aha, that's cool.
Yeah, especially like there was. I think my favorite one was you hit the little button on the cash register and there's some pollen in there.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's so cool. I like this.
Yeah, every little thing. I loved it. I loved it.
And then I just downloaded TemTem.
Yeah.
Last night.
a
I haven't
little
gotten to play it yet.
Okay. Just watched a couple vids.
I've been watching video. Did you watch that video?
I watched like 3/4 of the video. I didn't watch the whole thing.
Okay. Yeah,
But
I'm in.
I got watched a bunch of it, and then I was like, I don't think I can do this.
I don't think you could either.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna get in, and then maybe I'll push you later.
Report back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it seems very fun.
I don't think
And-
I'm not too gassed to be just I don't know doing all that right now.
It seems like a game that's gonna be like a lot of work.
Yeah.
To like build competitive stuff but it seems very cool to me. I think it's a good
you gotta go in.
side game. So
I've been playing Rogue Company, going back into that with your
yeah,
boy Jordan.
I played that too. I think
that game's still fun, man.
it's very good. I think what it is, it's got high highs and low lows.
Yeah.
You're either
I'm
feeling
too
like
good.
on
It's
top
all
of the
highs,
world.
baby.
Yeah, until your game crashes 6 times.
Yeah, you're right. The game crashed a bunch of fucking
I
times.
mean, low lows is in like the game is
Yeah.
like there's some poor design in some places.
Mhm.
Sometimes you get a spider thrown at you and you're like, how do I combat this in any way?
Yeah.
Without being amazingly god tier. So
I also played Omori. I played
You've
2
started.
hours and 9 minutes of Omori.
where you at?
I am currently going through the junkyard in Otherworld.
You know what's funny?
Huh?
That's where I stopped.
Really?
Yeah.
You never played any more than that?
I got there and I don't know.
I'm liking it.
Keep on. I put it down for too long and now I'm like afraid to pick
It's
it back
with
up.
I think it's the weird shit that got me like.
You gotta know
I gotta
where
know
this ends.
What the fuck is going on?
Did you fight the Moon Man?
Have not fought a Moon Man.
Okay.
Is it like a secret?
He's like hiding behind a tree in that, not in the junkyard, but in the like little village area.
Oh, in the playground?
No. You know when you go to space.
Oh, in space?
Yeah.
Oh.
He's behind a tree there.
Maybe I'll go back and look for him.
He's just standing there, and you can talk to him, and then it starts
Just
to fight.
just like the boss.
Yeah, he's just a boss fight.
Did you fight
Beats his ass.
the big sturdy tree?
The big sturdy tree?
If you're in the forest, there's a very specific tree. If you walk into it, it starts a battle with the big sturdy tree,
Oh, I don't think I did that.
and you can't hurt it.
It's a
But it
big
doesn't
sturdy
hurt
tree.
you. It just sits there, and then like after your turn, it goes. A breeze blew in the wind, and then it just he goes back to your turn.
I love that stuff.
The only way to finish it is just to run. Like you can't do nothing to it. You just run to the big sturdy tree. It's like this is a fucking big sturdy tree.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
I like ran into it, and I was like, that's a fucking tree.
And then the combat mechanics are like super strange.
They're weird,
but they're cool.
yeah. The
like,
emotional
yeah.
rock paper scissors and stuff. Yeah, it's more the story that's keeping me going.
Yeah,
I'd be running away for a lot of battles.
I need to know what's going on.
Yeah, I'll report back.
Okay,
I'll report back, and that's all I've been playing.
Yeah.
But we got reader mail real quick.
Reader mail.
You can get your questions right on the show by writing into synceduppod@gmail.com or the reader mail submissions tab of the Discord, just like Lyle did.
Lyle, what's up, brother?
I'm sorry to report that Ben Hansen from MinMax has started a feud with you during his latest podcast. Here's what he said with paraphrasing. I did listen to this episode, and I did hear it, and it did hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
Quote, if you're recording a podcast and you lose that episode of the podcast through some technical hiccup, do not talk about it on the next episode you recorded. That is some rookie podcast maneuvering. I hate that idea of when they started a podcast, they were like, technically this is the second time we've had this discussion because the last one was deleted accidentally. Why are you telling them? Just shut up. You're making your content feel worse. That's like that it's like a chore to listen to if we know that this is a half-hearted second attempt. That was better the first time when we could just stay in the dark. Ignorance is bliss. Everybody stop it. End quote. How will you respond to this outrage and personal attack against the Synced Up podcast? And just in case you hadn't realized already, I'm not serious. Yours, Lyle.
He came for our neck, bro.
That shit was so funny.
That is so extremely accurate.
When he was like saying it, I was like, fuck, dude.
I feel so called out that I will never do it again.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing it again.
They will never know.
I will forever. You guys will never, unless you're in the Discord, patreon.com/synced for $1. You'll never ever hear about how an episode got fucked up because I heard that and I was like, damn, bro, yeah, right.
So like, who did he watch, bro?
I don't know, bro. Maybe it was us.
No way.
He did watch a couple of our apps, you know.
No, bro.
Maybe it was one of those apps, dude. I don't know.
I am embarrassed.
Yeah, I know. Me too.
I'm like, well, I wish I could go re-record it a third time.
Yeah,
and not
do
flub.
it. Just go fix those episodes real quick.
Well, all right.
Anyway,
Ben.
That's all the news and everything. Disappointments and highs and lows. Epic highs and lows of high school football.
Nintendo Directs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, ID at Xbox next week. Get excited, and we'll be ranking only yesterday as well next week. You coming over tomorrow morning so we can do Fiverr stuff?
Can do what?
Fiverr stuff?
Yeah, I can.
Cool.
I have to go to bed at a decent time.
Yeah.
That sounds lame.
Yeah.
But I'll do it.
I mean, you don't work till 2, right?
1.
Oh.
Sure.
Anyway.
I'll wake up.
That's it for the news and this episode of the Synced Up Podcast. Thank you for watching or listening. Go over to youtube.com/syncedupodcast and give us a subscribe, please. If you're just in the audio feed, we appreciate that. Support us on Patreon, do all that stuff. And we will catch you guys next week.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.